Hi folks, how you doing? And what about that today? A much clearer picture. I've got a different camera, thank God, because nobody was really seeing me. Today's video is how drinking water can prevent a heart attack. And trust me, this is very, very important because I don't know if you work or not. If you work or you're out and about, you go to work in the morning. I go to work, and the first thing most people do is to have a coffee or a cup of tea, and then around about 10 o'clock, they'll not drink anything sort of between 8 o'clock and 10, and then they're going to have a cup of tea or another coffee. This is wrong. What you should be starting your day off with, get yourself that, right? Bottled water. It's so cheap nowadays, and water is one of the the biggest preventers of heart disease. Just see how easy that is. Your body is made up of, I think it's predominantly about 60% or maybe more of water, so you need water in your body. The first thing to do, the thing about water and your heart is it is really, really good for your heart because water, it stops your blood from becoming too thick. So water does take away the thickness of your blood, stops it from clotting, So you've got to time your when you're going to drink. Well, obviously, if you're out walking and you're warm, you're thirsty, you take a drink, But my main time for taking water, and this is a really, really good tip that you should listen to. It could save your life. A lot of heart attacks happen during the night, early hours of the morning. So what I do is I would take not a full one of those, probably 3/4, just before I go to bed at night. And I know people turn around and say, well, you've got a weak bladder or something, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you something, I'd rather wake up at 3 o'clock to do a pee than to wake up with a heart attack. It's not a difficult choice, is it? But this is a proven thing, I'm not a doctor, and I do go with stuff that I read, but only if it's sort of, it's sort of stamped by the likes of the Heart Foundation or something like that. But it has been proven that if you drink a glass of water before you go to bed at night, it will thin out any of your blood. If you've got thick blood, blood does thicken during the day if you're sort of lying around and so on. And if you don't exercise much, your blood's going to get thick. That's why you have poor circulation, and that's why you should exercise. But I've mentioned exercise in other videos. And if you haven't watched my other videos, why have you not watched them? After this video, get yourself off there and watch them because, that's why I'm here. But back to the water, yeah. Water just before bedtime. Drink the water, and that will it'll make your blood flow easier, and it'll prevent clotting. Because if the blood is thick, it will clot. So you've got to avoid that. And the best way of avoiding that is water, right? And first thing you wake up in the morning, I always keep this here by my bedside, by the way. If sort of wake up about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, if you feel thirsty or something like that, which you usually do, funny enough, when you wake up at 5 in the morning, it's just, get a glass of water. You wake up the normal time, 6:30 or something. Don't have a coffee first thing. Have a glass of water. It doesn't have to be a full big bottle like this bad boy here. You know what I mean? There's bigger bottles than this, but just have a couple of glasses of water first thing in the morning, and that'll see you right and get you off to a good start. Because as I say, another thing about water, and the heart is, it does three things, basically. It does the blood flow, right? But it also reduces your heart rate, right? Water also reduces your blood pressure. Now, this is a fact, and I have done the test myself. And everyone knows, if you're watching this and you've had a heart attack, you should know. Most of us heart attack survivors know that high blood pressure will cause a heart attack. A high heart rate can go on and cause a heart rate. I can't even talk right. A high heart rate can also cause a heart attack. Now, both these things can be brought down by drinking water. Now, that's a fact. Whenever I get high blood pressure, now high blood pressure for myself, I'm talking about like 200 over 100. You know, a lot of people think high blood pressure would be 140. I've seen somebody print out that high blood pressure was 143 over 90. I wouldn't regard that as high blood pressure myself. It would be slightly elevated, but it's not high blood. I wouldn't call that high blood pressure. High blood pressure to me is like 200. I always know I have a high blood pressure because I get a headache, and I would then check my blood pressure. I have the wee machine. It's just sitting over there, and you just put it in your arm, and then that's it. But then what you should then do is, if you have the high blood pressure, something's maybe brought it on. You've had an argument with somebody, or something's annoyed you, or you've been doing a bit of strenuous work, and you've just anyway, whatever caused it, you get the water, right? Drink a bottle of that. Don't just gulp it down. Drink it slowly and let it have its time to sort of take work on your body. But taking regular drinks of water like this here will keep your blood pressure down low, and thus, I used to have headaches all the time, and I don't have headaches as much now because I drink a lot of more water than I used to, and I've only really done this in the last year. It's because I was actually doing this channel, and I was doing a lot of research on other different things to do with the heart, and I came across this guy that made this great video about what times of the day are best for taking the water, which was first thing in the morning and sort of last thing at night, and then making sure that you kept your body topped up during the day, which makes a lot of sense when the body is made up of water. So if you're not topping your body up with water, it's a bit silly, really, isn't it? It's like not putting oil in your car. Your car's not going to go. So get yourself one of these, right? And if you're at work, keep it at your desk. Sort of like when you wake up in the morning, take your water, say about 10 o'clock or so, have another one. Then, in the afternoon, have another glass of water. There's nothing to stop you having a cup of coffee, by the way. You can still have your cup of coffee and your cup of tea. But I'm just saying, keep the water in there as well, because it will help you. I mean, as well, if you're out for a walk in the sun or something like that there, make sure you have water then. Always keep yourself hydrated. Dehydration thickens the blood, and if your blood's thick, it can clot. And if you have a clot, you're going to have a heart attack. And for something as simple as water, you can avoid that. And there was research done, I forget where it was. I watched the video and I can't remember, because the lady was she wasn't really doing it as well as I do, what can I say? And anyway, she worked it out that people that sort of did drink water and stuff like that there on a regular basis and drank the right amount reduced their chances of having a heart attack by about 40%. Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody can turn around and say to me, look, if you drink water on a regular basis at certain times of the day, the chances of you having your heart attack are going to be cut by 40%. What are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, no, I prefer coffee? Seriously? I don't think so. You've got to have the water. But water, it's such a good thing. It's not just for the heart alone, and the dehydration and the thick blood. It keeps the heart rate down. There's mine, 68. Can you beat that? Nah, not really. It's not bad. But my heart rate's 68, and I check my blood pressure. It's always around about 124 over 80 something, but it's never that high. Especially since I've been drinking the water, I have noticed the difference. So I'm telling you, and one of the main tricks really is drink your water before you go to bed. Seriously, say about half of that, or maybe just over it, just before you go to bed, drink that, and that will ensure that your blood isn't that thick when you're going to sleep, and it will do you the world of good. It also stops leg cramps as well. Just in case you're interested, you might get leg cramps during the night or something like that. There, if you take the water before you go to bed at night, this will actually help stop you getting leg cramps. And the best thing about it is water doesn't cost much. You can use ordinary water too. I just prefer this here, because it's cheap. And where I work, they have a water machine, so I can just take my bottle in and top it up, and it saves me spending money, because I don't like spending money, Why spend money when there's free stuff? And I don't know about you, but I think it tastes better when it's free. Maybe that's just me, who knows? But anyway, water has many other sort of things. It detoxes your body. It also helps with constipation, believe it or not. And you don't have to be the brainiest person in the world to work out why water helps constipation. Do you know why water helps constipation? Hands up if you know why water prevents constipation. Obviously, if the stool is hard. Now, I don't know what part of the country you're from. I noticed I've actually started to get viewers on Malaysia. But, a stool is obviously what comes out of your backside, So if you're constipated, it means that what is coming out is hard and is finding difficulty coming through your body because it's hard, right? So if you've got a hard stool, right, what's going to soften it? Any ideas? What's going to soften it? Water. You got it, my friends. Yes, it's that water again. Oh, my heart feels better already. It really does. Anyway, you see that there? The size of that there? About 6 or 7 of those a day, right? Now, I know it seems a lot, but if you wake up in the morning, you're sort of thirsty, if you're out a walk, like that, or if you're having dinner at night, and then before you go to bed. But, during the day, if you're watching a football match, instead of sitting there with a pint of beer or something like that, I've seen people in the bar watching a match, and they get a pint of beer or a pint of Guinness, and just, same thing, except it's not Guinness, it's better. And you just, boom, you knock the whole pint back. But see people drinking water, they sort of sup it as if it's some sort of toxin. People drink beer quicker than they drink water. Isn't that strange? But isn't it true? Have you watched people drink beer and then watch water? Am I right or am I wrong? I'm right. I really am right. But anyway, if you've had a heart attack, which you probably have if you're watching this, if you're sort of been on the road to recovery and you're not a big water drinker or you don't drink water at night, and I honestly think if you drink enough water, it will prevent a second heart attack. It'll certainly stave off a second heart attack, and it will help you sort of not have a heart attack in the middle of the night if you take the water before you go to bed. Obviously, there's always a chance that you'll take a heart attack. 50% of the population in the whole world dies of a heart attack. So, it's a flip of the coin, my friends. But we have survived, and I'm just telling you all now. I'm a big water fan, and I'm just telling you, if you're not drinking the water, if you're going out for a walk, which you probably should be, which I'll be doing anyway after I make this video, because I always like to go for a walk every day, 30 minutes every day, and if you're not doing that, you should be doing that as well, and definitely take the water with you. If you're going on holidays or anything like that there, and it's really, really hot weather, definitely get that water down you. Don't be dehydrated, because that's what can bring on a heart attack. I'm almost sure that's what happened to, what do you call it? Ericsson in the World Cup. That enormous heat over there where they're playing. That's not really good for those players playing in that heat. Very, very bad. That's why, if you notice the likes of England or anybody that were playing in the World Cup, and the excessive heat during the match, they actually stopped the match so that they can have water breaks. And that's why they do it, because the players are dehydrated and they need the water in their body, or the blood pressure goes up. And the managers and the likes of FIFA and all that, they know this, so they don't want a player to sort of have a heart attack on the field or something like that, which would happen because of the fact that they're running about for 90 minutes in 30 degrees heat, and their bodies are going to dehydrate. As their body dehydrates, then the heart rate starts to go up, the blood pressure starts to go up, and that brings on a heart attack. I would not be surprised if the heat and dehydration was not the cause of Eriksen's heart attack. But thank God the guy's okay and he's got a pacemaker fitted. But yes, my friends, please keep up the water. Drink more. Drink a wee glass at night. Definitely drink that one. And drink that first thing in the morning when you wake up. And always have this beside your bedside. You wake up during the night, just, have a wee top up, and that's it. It's one thing, my friends, I always do, if I was ever in a bar or something like that there, and it's somebody's round, I don't buy a round of beer or anything like that. I always let on I have to go to the toilet or something like that. But you see when it comes to water, it's my round. It's my round when it comes to water. Definitely my round. I'll get the water in. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you're not a member, please do subscribe. Don't forget to like. I like a like. You like that? That's my wee saying on YouTube. See the way I'm pointing to my eye, by the way. I like a like. Or hit the wee bell there. You see the wee thing that's shaped like a bell? If you hit that, you'll get a notification. But yes, we're looking very clear that day. I'm glad when I got my new sort of camera there, because you couldn't really see me. You could only really hear my voice. And now you can see me. You can see that the water actually it improves your face as well and your skin. It does all that. And I do look quite young. I'm 67 years old, and I've been told by a lot of the women that I sort of go out with that I only look about 47, so the water's doing something, my friends. It really is doing something. But I'm going to be watching the football over the weekend. That's why I made a video today. I'll see you on Monday night. Please leave a comment there, share your experiences or what you think about water or anything like that there, and or just say, is there anything that maybe you'd like me to make a video of, and I'll do it for you. But take care of yourselves, get the water in you, and keep it topped up. Don't forget your 60% water. When you're walking around, I'm surprised you don't actually hear yourself splash. We've got 60% water inside our bodies. It's madness. Anyway, have a good weekend, my friends, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Please give me a like, tell your friends about me, and help me build my channel up. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. All the best.